Good morning, everybody. Again, I don't know what camera. There's so many cameras around here. Oh, that one? The big one? I don't know. All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Jubilee Circle. Thank you for joining us here in the building, and thank you for joining us out there on YouTube. We're happy to have you with us this morning. You ready? 2, 3, 4. All right, everybody, that's some little who to get you started this morning. Bruce Clark over there on the guitar. Woo! All right. So So this morning, we're continuing our VIA Positiva theme of Oh, the Humanity, and we're talking about our commonalities as human beings. And I want you to, I don't know if anybody can, I don't know if y'all can really see this, but here's my shirt this morning. It's the world, I'm the world's okayest guitar player. What's going on?
We disagree.
Are we hearing the truckers or something coming through?
It's classical sort of music.
I don't know. Sometimes you get truckers in the in the speakers. Go, 10-4, good buddy. So I just wanted to explain my. This thing's not playing. That thing's off. So you know. Okay. I wanted to explain my shirt. Is somebody playing something somewhere else? Is it the guy out there playing music? He might be. I don't know. Well, we'll just play louder. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just play louder. Anyway, back to my shirt. So I'm the world's okayest guitar player. Back to me. Talking about me. Fuck yeah. All eyes on me. The other day, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of Saturdays ago, I played this. Al Black, who many of you might know, is a lovely man. He's a beautiful human being. I love him so much. And I played at this little poetry thing at the Richland County Library off Garner's Ferry. And Al gave me the best ever backhanded compliment that I've ever had. He said, you're an okay guitar player, you're an okay singer, but your songs, people can hear the words to your songs. Apparently I write good songs, according to him. I'm a great songwriter. I'm an okay guitar player, and an okay singer, and I'm just like, okay. And some people are like, oh, well, aren't you offended by that? And it's like, no, because that's exactly what I've told myself. I'm okay. I'm an okay singer. I'm an okay guitar player. And I really think I've written some good songs. So it was just like, to me, it was affirmation. So I'm just embracing being the world's okayest guitar player. So Bruce is going to help me become a better guitar player. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that. We're both going to explore that.
Yeah. So one day we'll just trade solos. It'll be great. So something to look forward to.
I'm still insecure about my playing.
Oh man! After this morning, how can you be?
Yeah,
that was great.
Still, it's ingrained. It's not going away.
Yeah. Well, we all have our insecurities. Breathe deeply. It was my gateway guru. Say that 3 times fast. My gateway guru into metaphysics, a guy named Wayne Dyer, who once said, "Don't die with your music in you." And that doesn't mean that we all have to become singers or performers or okay guitarists. It simply means that there is a quality within each of us that this world needs if it's ever going to become whole and help us awaken to the truth of ourselves as originally blessed human beings with this divine mission to fulfill, because we all have music in us. That's something that within, be it a great talent or a small gift, that this world is incomplete without. Dyer's daughter Serena writes about this, saying, "Not dying with your music still in you is not about what you do with your life, it's about how you lead your life." So no matter what your vocation is, you can bring your music into the world, whether you're flipping burgers or leading entire countries or anything in between. Our music is the divinity that we all share. That higher divine self that knows what we do with our lives is less important than the spirit with which we do it, because that spirit is what is our music. So even in the darkest times, our music can come forth from us. It can heal us from the inside out and bring that healing melody into the world. And we die with our music still in us when we trade our divine tune that sings us, and for the somebody, when we trade that divine music for that somebody done somebody wrong song of the ego that keeps us in grievance, and it keeps us in this never-ending search for fleeting joy and peace and love that we find outside of ourselves. So this morning, Jubilants, I'm going to invite you to listen deeply for the song that is within you, that song that sings us, so we never have to sing the ego's song again, because when you can hear the music within yourself, and blend it with the music of everyone around you, then the whole world gets to sing, oh, yeah. Right. So we begin as we do with every Jubilee Circle celebration. We remember the 4 elements, the air and the water and the earth and the fire. Yes, please rise as you're able. And we burn sage as a reminder that this is a safe and a sacred time, and a time to set our intentions, not just for ourselves personally, but an intention for love and peace and joy in the world. And we orient ourselves during this sacred time and place by calling the 4 directions. I invite you to turn and face the east. Holy One, we love the light as it breaks forth upon us every morning. But help us to appreciate the darkness that comes before each dawn. Teach us to dwell in hope and anticipation, looking for those first rays of light as the sun begins its journey across the sky. Teach us, Holy One, how to hear your music in the pre-dawn darkness. Quarter turn to the right and we face the south. As the oppressive heat of summer bears down on us, Holy One, remind us to dance even when the problems and anxieties seem to push down on us like the suffocating humidity of summer. Remind us that it is often in the sweaty and breath-stealing dances of our lives that produce the most creative transformations, removes the most toxins of worry and despair from our lives. Teach us, Holy One, to dance and sing, even when times feel oppressive. Quarter turn to the right and we face the west. As the darkness again dawns on us this day and every day, teach us, Holy One, to welcome the receding of the light in our lives. Teach us to value the dark moments so we can increase our joy and we can increase our rejoicing as the light returns. Teach us, Holy One, to use the dark times to grow our minds, our bodies, our spirits, to learn new songs of joy, even in the midst of despair. Increase our stamina so we may learn how to dance and sing, no matter how dark the night may be. Quarter turn to the right, we face the north. We all experience those cold winds from the north in our lives, Holy One, those frozen, barren times when the world seems hopelessly dark. Use those cold and dark times, Holy One, to teach us some new melodies, songs of joy and peace that warm our hearts and our spirits, even during the chill of winter. Teach us your songs of transformation, songs that say, oh yeah, to even the dark times, knowing that new melodies of spring are never far behind. And as we turn back toward the center, there's a bunch of people here who have some holy music in them, just waiting to be heard, waiting to be sung so they can bring that healing tune into the world. So I invite you, Jubilants, listen deeply this morning for the song that sings only to you, because when you hear it and you sing it out, loudly, joyfully, proudly, playfully, then the whole world will sing back their song, and it'll sound a lot like, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Band, here's some. If you remain standing, we got some Dobie brothers to start us out with this morning. And if you are on the YouTube and you want to get lyrics and readings and all the stuff that we're going to be doing today, you can go to jubileecircle.com and you will find our bulletin and everything you need. And I'm going to tune because tuning is caring. You put it makes me okayer. It really does. If I'm worse if I'm out of tune, right? I'm not okay at all. So now I'm an okayer guitarist right now because I have tuned. Y'all are happy about that. It's better. It's better to be in tune. It really is. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. I invite you to greet one another. Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the news. Some are happy, some are sad. Whoa, gotta let the music play. What may be seated. Right. Welcome once again. So glad you're here at Jubilee Circle, and tell you a little bit about us. We are an inclusive, progressive interfaith community in Columbia, South Carolina. We teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that is found in all mainstream religions, in metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, and inspired secular religious writers throughout the ages. We use popular music, teachings, weekly celebrations, educational and artistic events, and other community building activities, because what we're trying to do is create this space for everyone to experience their own inner transformation so completely that then they can't help but become the transformation out in the world. And we believe we're here to expand our souls, to find deeper meaning in life, renew our commitment to love and peace and justice every day so we can learn how to love wastefully and undergo a transformation from the inside out that it's so complete that all we can do is just live from our higher divine self. We are also God's good creation, and we recognize that. We're formed in love and joy and stardust, but we often forget that. We come on out into the world and we see things as separate, and so then we start to judge. We start to have grievances. I like that person. I don't like that person. That person's beautiful. That person's ugly. That person's generous, and that person's all stingy, and that person is loving, and that person over there is
Recalcitrant.
recalcitrant. What? Mentally ill. Well, now, we got to be careful with that. But we have to remember jubilance, our function here. Our function is to remember who we truly are, to remember our original blessing, to remember our innocence, so that we can know that everyone in this world is the light of the world, including ourselves. And that makes us all say,
Oh,
oh, yeah. All right. So a few announcements as we go along. Next week, we're going to use, I don't know, I think I didn't put it in. Oh, we're going to use one of my original songs. Okay. I was talking about my songs. We're going to talk about playfulness. We're going to just do some playing. It's going to be playful next week, so we're going to do that. All right. Mark your calendars for Friday, September 16th. The Pirates of Penzance Sing-Along. The Columbia Operatic Laboratory is going to bring their sing-along version of that classic to us. So mark your calendars for that. There's not really much going on in August. It's August. Y'all just lie still. Right, just lie still under the air conditioner. You'll be all right. We might have a thunderstorm next door. What's going on? Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, is it coming up in August? There's something coming up? Okay, we might do a thunderstorm at Soundy School next door in August. And if you want to know, hey, what's Soundy School? Come over here at 10:30 in the morning, and you can experience Soundy School. And I think Beth live streamed it today. You were on Facebook with it, so.
It's on the Jubilee Circle Facebook page.
Yeah, on the Jubilee Circle Facebook page, there's a live stream that was made this morning. So if you're wondering what the heck is Soundy School, go to our Facebook page and you can check it out.
But you know, thunderstorms are not very good if it's only a drop or two.
Yeah, we need a lot of
We need a whole storm.
Right. All right. All right. Well, let us know. We will be there to make the storm. And then Wednesdays at 7:30, what? The September 16th. Yeah, Friday, September 16th at 7 o'clock is our Pirates of Penzance sing-along. Course in Miracles group meets every Wednesday at 7:30. There is a Zoom option. If you have your bulletin, that is the link, and you can join us on Zoom if you don't want to come to the building. All right. Did I miss anything, or is there anything? I don't think there's anything. Cece has some, oh, is it dog days? And I'll tell you what, my dogs don't care for this. They walk outside and go, nope. These are not the dog days of summer. The dog days happen in the winter. That's where they say. All right. Huh? Yeah, dog days are supposed to be bad days. I'm like, my dogs have great days, so except for this morning. But anyway. All right. So, hear these wise and holy words.
There's a lot of wise and holy
There's
words
there's a
today.
lot of words. I actually cut a lot, so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know.
If you're not into the scripture reading part of
Yeah.
Jubilee, it's a good time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, go to
I'm
get
gonna
some
be here for a
coffee,
minute.
something
Good
like
stuff,
that.
though.
popcorn.
All right, from A Course in Miracles, chapter 21. Listen, perhaps you catch a hint of an ancient state not quite forgotten, dim perhaps, and yet not altogether unfamiliar, like a song whose name is long forgotten, and the circumstances in which you heard completely unremembered. Not the whole song has strayed with you, but just a little wisp of melody attached not to a person or a place or anything in particular. But you remember from just this little part how lovely was the song, how wonderful the setting where you heard it, and how you loved those who were there and listened with you. Beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining, and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity, nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. What is a miracle but this remembering? And who is there in whom this memory lies not? The light in one awakens it in all, and when you see it in your brother, you are remembering for everyone. And The Singers, a poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. God sent his singers upon earth with songs of sadness and of mirth, that they might touch the hearts of men and bring them back to heaven again. The first, a youth with soul of fire, held in his hand a golden lyre. Through grooves he wandered, and by streams, playing the music of our dreams. The second, with a bearded face, stood singing in the marketplace, and stirred with accents deep and loud the hearts of all the listening crowd. A gray old man, the third and last, sang in cathedrals dim and vast, while the majestic organ rolled contrition from its mouths of gold. And those who heard the singers three disputed which the best might be, for still their music seemed to start discordant echoes in each heart. But the great master said, I see no best in kind, but in degree I give a various gift to each, to charm, to strengthen, and to teach. These are the three great chords of might, and he whose ear is turned aright will hear no discord in the three, but the most perfect harmony.
These are wise and holy words. Thanks be to the holy. All creation is holy word. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. It's been one of those mornings. It's been one of those mornings. One ringy dingy.
Yes. I think Saturn is be wild and people wild.
Breathe deeply. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity. You can't imagine anything outside this light, because this light is everywhere. What is a miracle but this remembering? And who is there in whom this memory lies not? We all have it. The light in one awakens it in all. When you see it in your sisters, your brothers, your siblings, you are remembering for everyone. And that's the key. I mean, sometimes we go, oh, I'm the light of the world. And your ego is a big fan of that sentence, because it likes to go, oh, yeah. And nobody else is the light of the world. That's not true. We are all the light of the world. There is no place that this light is not. I invite you to think about the people that you think are dark in this world, don't have any light. It's probably a politician, just guessing. Could be a relative. Could be a relative who's a politician. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know all you people. But even there is not a place where this light is not. Sometimes it's hard to see it in ourselves, but sometimes it seems impossible to see it in other people. especially those that we have written off as recalcitrant or obstreperous or evil. But even there, there's no place where God's light is not. And so our exercise in this world is to see our own light, because when we recognize our own light, we do recognize it for everyone else. Sometimes the hard work is to see it in others. And so I invite you this morning, bring to mind someone who you would prefer not have the holy light. And know there is no place where this light is not. Right. Breathe deeply. Our song this morning comes from Dobie Gray. It's a song everybody knows, but loves, yes. It's called Drift Away. It comes from his 1973 release. Called the same. Huh? I don't know that one. I don't know as many Dobie Gray songs. I like this one. All right. This one's called Drift Away from 1973. 2, 3, 4. Day after day I'm more confused. Yet I look for the light through the pouring rain. That's a game I hate to lose, and I'm feeling the strain. Ain't it a shame for giving a beat, boys, to free my soul? I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. We want this to be an earworm. Everybody sing now. Here we go. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. So I begin this morning with a little bit of trepidation. I hope that this will be okay. You see, I have this beautiful story to tell you, but after I investigated the source of this story, I ran across, it was just one article, but it was one very lengthy article about why this story itself might be considered racist. It's the kind of story that this author says white people like to tell about black people in some romanticized fashion. Now, I understand the concern because, you know, we white folks, we have this history of reacting in two mainly two ways, there you go, when we come across things that we don't understand, all right? Two things we do. We either appropriate it in some way for our own use, or we destroy it, right? Am I right? I'm right about white people, yes. This morning, though, I would like to offer this story in the spirit of tenderness that it awoke within me when I heard it. And so I mean no disrespect, and I certainly honor the culture that the story comes from. I think the underlying beauty of the story might redeem any other controversy that especially this one writer might have felt about it. The story is told by Buddhist monk Jack Kornfield, and it is the story of an African village where the birthday of a child is not when they are born or even when they are conceived. Instead, they consider their birthday to be when the future mother has the desire to bring the child into the world. So when the child becomes a thought in her mind, she goes out into the wilderness and she sits quietly for however long it takes for her to hear the baby sing its song to her. And once she hears that tune, she sings it to herself, she teaches it to her partner. As they make love, they sing the song together to invite the baby into the world. And when the mother becomes pregnant, she sings the song to the growing child in her womb. And when it is born, everyone sings the song of the child. And as it grows up, everyone in the village, they know each other's song. They learn the song of the child, and if it falls down, they pick it up and they hold them, they rock them and sing them their song. The song is sung at rites of passage as the child comes of age and gets married all the way to the end of their life. And when the child grows old and is ready to die, friends and family gather around, and for one last time, they sing their song. And I'm certain that there is more context, more richness to this tradition than this simple story can capture. But I think at its heart, the message is universal. We're all born with a song. We're all born with that higher divine self, that formless, eternal part of ourself that sings itself into existence in this bodily world and then spends its time here helping us to remember our part in this song of unity. Listen, today's reading from A Course in Miracles begins. Perhaps you can catch a hint of an ancient state not quite forgotten, dim perhaps, and yet not altogether unfamiliar, like a song whose name is long forgotten, and the circumstances in which you heard it completely unremembered. Not the whole song has stayed with you, it says, but just a little wisp of melody, attached not to a person or a place or anything particular. But you remember from just this little part how lovely was the song, how wonderful the setting where you heard it, and how you loved those who were there and listened with you. Jubilance, the song of unity that we carry a piece of, is hard to hear in this world. Because while we're here, nobody sings our song to us. Instead, we all learn the ego's song. We're taught to sing about worldly success. We're taught to sing the song of our political or religious tribe. We're taught to sing the song of our culture, the song of capitalism, the song of competition and consumerism. In short, this world teaches us that ego's top hit called Seek But Do Not Find. This song has a great beat, and it's easy. It's so easy for us to dance to it. But in reality, it is a dissonant song that is meant to keep us confused and competing with one another. At some point, though, if we truly seek a better way to live in this world, that little wisp of melody that isn't attached to anything in this world can be dimly heard in our heart and our mind. And if we are willing to listen deeply for the song of our soul that allows us to drift away into that higher divine self, that's the entrancing melody that we would sing instead of the ego's dissonant earworm. But we are afraid of that divine tune. The Course tells us our fear is because we believe the ego's lie, that if we listened to and sang only that song, that ancient wisp of a melody, if we started to truly sing that, then we would lose everything in this world. It tells us we'd have to give up everything we hold dear: friends, family, jobs, houses, reputation, power, influence, all the trappings that the ego says we must value and live into. And yet, a course says, you know that nothing in the world you learned is half so dear as this. Nothing in this world is half as dear as this song. Listen, it says, and see if you remember an ancient song you knew so long ago and held more dear than any melody you taught yourself to cherish since. I invite you this morning, jubilants, tune into that soul song that wants you to hear it, that wants you to learn it and sing along with it, and then teach it to everybody around you so you can help them remember that they too have a song. And that if you sing your part and they sing their part, it will match, it will be beautiful, and it will create real freedom for the whole world. You know, your ego's idea of freedom is this endless circle of futile choices that always leads you back to despair, always back to unfulfilled desire. Your soul, though, your soul, it knows that true freedom lies in remembering the divine song that you were given, that ancient song that frees you from the world's endless looping song of wanting and having and losing and doing it all over again for as long as you live. So what? The question this morning is, do you want to hear the divine song? The one that is your unique song in the world? If so, here's the prayer that I want you to start saying every single day to bring that song to you so you can hear it. You ready for this prayer? It goes, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Oh, yeah.
2, 3, 4. Beginning to think that I'm wasting time. Don't understand the things I do. The world outside looks so unkind. Counting on you to carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh yeah, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Everybody, let's pray together out loud. Here we go. Give me the beat, boys, free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Every singer and songwriter will tell you that not all of their babies are pretty. Some songs are catchier than others. Some songs, they really are better than others. And this, I think, is our greatest fear of listening deeply for our own song. The ego wants to ask, well, what if our song isn't pretty? What if the song that we're meant to sing isn't special? What if we're disappointed in the sound of our own song? What if my song sounds like the alto part in the choir, a Johnny One Note singing an E flat the entire time I'm here? I mean, really, who wants that? What if I don't get the melody? What if I'm just stuck singing a note now and then? These are valid questions, but they all come from the ego, because the ego has us convinced that everybody's got to have the melody. Everybody gets a medal. We're all special. And, its reasoning is solid. I mean, we're all individuals, right? And as individuals, we all have that special melodic song that we want to sing. You know what's happening here? If the ego can keep us singing what we think is our song, that is surely my song because it's pretty and it's the melody. and we think ours is more important than someone else's song, well, then it can just keep us in competition. That's just still another movement of the song seek but do not find. Keeps our soul trapped in this cage of separation. And it's not to say that every part of the song that we have is not unique. It is. But in the way that parts of a larger song are unique. Now, when you listen to parts of a song individually, out of context from the larger song, they often sound weird. They sound boring. Sometimes they sound like they could be even dissonant with other notes going on. Now, Michael is going to help us out this morning and play a few examples of some lines of a song that you all know, you've all heard it before, but he's going to play some individual parts that don't make much sense when you hear them in isolation. Michael?
So I'm going to play 3 different parts. I'm going to play this is for an orchestra, so there's bass and cello parts, one thing in octaves, and then I'm going to play the viola part, and then I'm going to play the trumpet part, which you'd think was important, but you'll see why it doesn't sound that important. Here's the first one, cello and bass. Now here's the viola part, and you can see why viola players get made fun of, but we're important.
Sounds like the alto part.
Now, here's the trumpet part. Now, in Beethoven's time, this is going to be Beethoven, trumpets could only basically play 4 notes. So they chose them very carefully. But it's not going to sound like much without everything else.
So when you hear all that in isolation, thank you, Michael. Kind of dull, right? Whatever, you're walking around, but that horn part might be yours. Who knows? But when you put all of them together, our one song of unity, when it is combined, it produces that ancient tune that frees our souls. And this is why it's important for each of us to go within, to listen deeply for the part we have to contribute to the larger song, even if the ego finds it dull or redundant. Recently, we went out and saw the Columbia Philharmonic's 4th of July show at the Fireflies Stadium. Now, watching an orchestra can help you learn about how all the seemingly disparate parts of a song work together. There are times when the brass was the loudest, there were times when the woodwinds took the melody, and there were times when the piccolo player was probably just balancing her checkbook in her head because she sat there and didn't play a single note for the entire song. What fascinated me the most, though, were the percussionists. There was one dude in particular who sat through most of the songs. On occasion, he'd stand up and he'd pick up the cymbals and clash them together, or he'd walk over to the chimes and play a few notes, and then he'd play the triangle, and then he'd sit back down. And I figured he probably had the easiest job in the entire orchestra. It was just once in a while, ding, 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 ding. Michael set me straight. He said, he's paying attention the whole time. His part is very important. And if he misses it when the time comes, it ruins the whole piece. Even the triangle player is an integral part of the band. It's possible, Jubilants, that when you listen deeply for your part of this song of unity, you may find yourself sitting around a lot. You may find that your part is silent for much of the song. But it doesn't mean your part isn't important. Even if you don't think you have much to contribute, the whole song turns on you paying attention and doing your part when it's needed, or else the whole song falls apart. The dissonance we experience in this world outside of ourselves is because we're not paying attention. We're not listening to our song. We're still jamming to seek but do not find. But when we pay attention, then we understand Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem, God sent his singers upon the earth. with songs of sadness and of mirth, that they might touch the hearts of men and bring them back to heaven again. The first a youth with soul of fire held his hand a golden lyre. Through groves he wandered and by streams playing the music of our dreams. The second with a bearded face stood singing in the marketplace, stirred with accents deep and loud the hearts of all the listening crowd. A gray old man, the third and last, sang in cathedrals dim and vast, while the majestic organ rolled contrition from its mouths of gold. And those who heard the singers three disputed which the best might be. Their ego arrives. Who's better? For still their music seemed to start discordant echoes in each heart. Now we're arguing about whose music is better. But the great master said, I see no best in kind, but in degree I gave a various gift to each, to charm, to strengthen, and to teach. These are the three great chords of might, and he whose ear is tuned aright will hear no discord in the three, but the most perfect harmony. Jubilants, we are those singers. We are the ones who have been sent to this earth to sing our part in our unity. Instead of arguing over who has the better part, let us understand our part and that it is just as important as every other. When our ear is tuned aright, we will hear no discord in this world because we will hear the beautiful music from everyone around us. And all we will hear is perfect harmony. We're singing this song all the time. The Course says, beyond this world of right and wrong, better or worse, there is, it says, an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands. It covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining, and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it is everything joined in perfect continuity, nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. Jubilants, when we join the parts of our song together, we become that one harmonious, soul-freeing light. This is the moment, of course, says that we can hear and feel this one song we've all been singing for eternity. The song is being sung, Jubilants, right now. It's being sung in this moment. All we need is to tune our ears to it. We will hear no discord. We will hear only harmony. So this morning I invite you, listen deeply to that wisp of melody, that ancient song that we know by heart before we ever came into this world. It is our connection to our higher divine self, and it wants to be sung to this world. And when we remember our part and we sing it, our song of light awakens the song in others. And when we see and hear that light, we can hear the songs of those around us. We remember our unity for everyone. And we all join our voices together in a song that just dissolves the ego's dissonant song. You may think your part is boring, like those snippets that Michael played, but when you listen to those parts together, we bring heaven to earth. Beauty that we have to offer the world when we don't let our music die in us. 2, 3, 4. When my mind is free, you know your melody can move me. When I'm feeling blue, the guitar's coming through to soothe me. Thanks for the joy that you give and
away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Oh, yeah. Everybody now.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Take me.
Oh, take me. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul.
Oh, yeah. All right. Right. So, one of the things that musicians in churches have in common is sometimes we're poor. But we here at Jubilee Circle, we are blessed. We are blessed by people who are joyful givers. We are blessed by people who hear the music and they understand that when we put all of our notes and all of our resources and everything that we have individually, when we put them together, we become beautiful. We become this beautiful song, this beautiful light in the world. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has continued to help us shine our light brightly here. Oh, I'm over here? I need little lights. Okay. For all of you out there who have contributed, who are thinking about contributing, we are grateful for your support. We're happy that you're here watching us. We're happy that you have supported us in the past, or that you will become a supporter in the future. We're very happy about that. Thanks to everyone in the building, everyone who has been out there watching us and supporting us. We are grateful. And so if you would like to donate, you can go to jubileecircle.com. There is a donate button there on the front page. You can click on that and you can get to our Venmo or our PayPal, or you can send a check to Post Office Box 4611, Columbia, South Carolina, 29240. All right, so we are going to say goodbye to our online folks, and just remember, from the words of Meister Eckhart, if the only prayer you ever say your entire life is thank you, that will be enough. Because it is our gratitude that leads us into that higher self and that place of love where we can hear our song and sing it out into the world. So I invite you this week, hear your song, sing it out into the world. Stop singing the Ego's top 10 hit of Seek But Do Not Find. All right, and you get there by saying, thank you. And oh yeah.